Advanced Spanish with Michel Thomas. Recording 4.
For I would want, which is also used for I would like, I would wish to do it, I would want to do it, one will say me gustaría, or there's another form for I would want, I would like, which is quisiera. Quisiera, which I will explain to you why, yes, but not now. We have quise, yes, for I wanted, quise, quiso, and they wanted is quis.
Quisieron.
Quisieron, yes. So what is, I wanted to do it.
Quise
Right.
hacerlo.
Quise hacerlo. He wanted to do it.
Quiso.
Once more.
Quiso
Quiso.
hacerlo.
So, quiso does not exist.
No.
Yes. Quiso.
Quiso.
Quiso hacerlo. And they wanted to do it.
Quisieron
Quisieron.
hacerlo.
Now, it so happens that if you take they, past, which is either Aaron or Yeron, like quisieron, yes, and you change it to quisieran, instead of ron, make it ran. So quisieron is they wanted, and quisiera is I might want. That I might want, which is actually the past subjunctive, which is very easy, as you will see. You just take the they form, the Aaron and or Yeron, and change it to Ara and Yera, and you have the past subjunctive. But we will go into it, yes, into the practice of it. But here you have an example of it, from quisieron to quisiera, for I might want, which is used quite a lot for I would like. Quisiera hacerlo, I would like to do it. Rather than querría, I would want to do it. Quisiera. I want to do it would be I want to do it. Quiero hacerlo.
Hacerlo.
I wanted to do it. If it is a line.
Quería
Right. Quería
hacerlo.
hacerlo. And if you want to say, I would like to do it, you can either say, me gusta.
Me gusta.
I would like.
Me gusta.
Me,
Oh.
I would like.
Me gustaría.
Right. Yes. Please don't guess. Yes. The only time where I would encourage you to guess is to guess vocabulary, words, but not structure, not grammar, not otherwise. Yes. Always take your time to think it out. So again, I would like to do it would be,
Me gustaría hacerlo.
right, me gustaría hacerlo, but you could also say either I would want to do it. How would you say that? I would want.
Querería.
Yes, the querría, yes, originally it was querría, but it contracted to
Querría.
querría, right.
Quer-
Querría, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's a difference between querría with a double R and quería.
Quería.
So I want it with one R. But you can also use for I would like, I may want.
Que sería.
No? What is they wanted?
Quisieron.
Quisieron, and you changed quisieron to
Quisiera.
quisiera. Yes. So quisiera becomes actually I might want, but it is used for I would like. So I would like to do it would be then
Quisiera
Once
hacerlo.
more.
Quisiera hacerlo.
Right. Quisiera hacerlo. What else? I can do it.
Puedo hacerlo.
Right. Puedo hacerlo. How would you say? I could do it.
Podría.
Yes, it used to be podría, but
Podría.
right, podría. Mm-hmm. So I could do it.
Podría hacerlo.
Podría hacerlo. We have a little problem here. That little problem is an English problem, not a Spanish problem. An English problem, which means that I will go into something which to me means into a sharpened awareness of your own language, because it's only through a sharpened awareness of your own language, of English, that you will be able to express yourself very clearly in another language. I'll give you an example. Mm-hmm. For instance, and you're doing it correctly, but I'm using it as an example. If you want to say, I will tell you, would be?
Le desire. Le desiré.
Yes, should have been desiré, but le
Diré.
Le diré is right.
I remember.
Le diré. The same as with those two friends.
Yes.
Because I will do it would be lo
haré.
Lo haré. Yes. So again, I will tell you would be
Le diré.
le diré. Yes. How would you say, will you please tell me where it is?
Me dirá, por favor, dónde está.
Mm-hmm. What you just told me correctly is, well, I assume that you don't know where it is, but when you find out in the future, will you then tell me where it is? Usually, when you ask somebody, will you please tell me where it is, it doesn't mean, will you sometime in the future?
No.
This is what I mean by sharpened awareness of your own language, which means that will, in English, expresses the future tense, but not always, except when you start, and whenever you start a sentence with will you, in the sense of will you please, that's why I threw in the please. Will you please is a polite request. In a way, in English, a polite way to politely avoid the imperative.
Yes.
To avoid saying, tell me where it is.
Yeah.
Or tell me please where it is. You say, will you please? Will you please or would you please tell me? Yes. Which has nothing to do with the future tense or with the conditional. This is what I mean by sharpened awareness. Yes? What am I trying to say?
Yeah.
So therefore, will you please, in Spanish, just use can you. Can you, unless you want to say quiere if you want to. Yes? But usually can you. So, puede. But not the future tense.
Puede.
Because will you tell me? Will is the future tense except when you say, will you please? Then it is not the future. If you don't start with will you, if you say, when will you, why will you, where will you, and so on, that is the future in English. When will you tell me? Yes? Then, cuando me dirá, me lo dirá. How would you say, you have to wait here? You have to.
Tiene que.
Once more?
Tiene que.
Right. Tiene que is you have to wait.
Esperar.
Right.
Aquí.
Tiene que esperar aquí, yes. Tiene que, you have to, you must, yes. Tiene que esperar. You have to wait for me would be
Tiene que esperarme.
right. Tiene que esperarme. You have to wait for me. Tiene que esperarme. How would you say you don't have to wait?
No tiene que esperar.
Now I'm bringing in what I call the sharpened awareness of your own language. Let's go back to you have to wait. You have to wait, which means in English you
Must wait.
you must wait, right? So you have to, you must, tiene que esperar, right? Now you want to say you don't have to wait, and you said in Spanish you gave to me as no tiene que esperar. I understand that as you must not wait.
Oh,
Yes?
right.
Because tiene que, you have to, means you must. And you give me no tiene que esperar. To my Spanish ears, it means you must not wait. Absolutely not. You must not. But this is not what you meant.
No.
The question is, sharpened awareness of English. What do you mean when you say you don't have to wait? You don't have to do it. What does it mean in English? Now you have to find, somehow you have to find a way to express yourself. But first you have to know, what do I mean by it? What does it mean in English? If you say you don't have to do it or you don't have to wait. Does it mean you must not? No. It doesn't mean you must not, so we have to put that away. Now, you want to express yourself. You have to know what you mean.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait, that means...
It's not necessary that you wait
right.
for you to wait? Or, yeah.
Okay. How would you say that now? No es necesario, fine.
No es
That you
necesario
wait.
esperar. Esperar.
Esperar, or it is not necessary that you wait, que
Que espera.
you use here the command tense,
Okay. Oh, that, yes.
that you might wait, that you may wait.
Yes.
Yes. If you say it is not necessary or it is necessary, there's the element of doubt, of uncertainty, which is where you switch tracks. No es necesario que espere. You don't have to exactly express this. You don't need to wait. There's a big difference in English between you must not wait or you don't need to wait. You don't have to wait is actually you don't need to wait, or as you said, it's not necessary that you wait. Now the question is, what is to need? You know how to say I need.
Necesito.
What's more?
Necesito. No?
Necesito. Yes.
Necesito.
Necesito. To necessitate.
Yeah.
Yes. For the T.
Yeah.
Not necessitate. Necessitate. Yes. Okay. So how would you say now? You don't need to wait.
No necesita esperar.
Right. No necesita, or no necesitas, or no necesitan esperar. Yes. And there you don't have to wait. Yes. You see the tremendous difference between no tienes que esperar, meaning you must not wait. You handled it correctly also. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not necessary for you to wait or that you wait. No es necesario que espere. You were right on the dot. You don't have to, you don't need to. some verbs, only a handful of verbs, where it's in the character and the nature of the verb to express a line in the past, not a dot. Like you already know how to use I knew it. I knew would be
Sabia.
sabia, yes? Yes. Though actually I knew the dot would be super, yes? But you know why not to use super or when to use super at that moment I knew, yes?
Yeah.
Or I found out. But otherwise, sabia or no sabia, I didn't know. The same with I wanted. It's not just a sudden wish at that moment, which would be kise. But usually I wanted. There's a line. Can be a short line or a long line in the past, which would be
Queria.
queria, yes. So queria verlo. I wanted to see it just for some time already. Now, for I could in the past. We have a problem here with could in English, because I threw in now I could in the past. Why? Because in English, could actually expresses two distinctly different tenses. So I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. I could is clearly in English in the past, yes? I couldn't find it. I was looking for it, yes? Or he left, he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait, he was not able to wait, yes? But could, if it is not the past, like, could you tell me? Or could you go there with me tonight? The same could. That doesn't mean, were you able to go with me tonight? Yes, or tomorrow. So could, in the past, in English, means was able. And if it is not in the past, then it means would be able. So, could you go there with me tomorrow? Yes, would you be able to go there with me? Yes. So, with could, we have to know now, again, sharpened awareness of your own language, we have to know if could is past or not past. If it is not past, right, then it is would be able, yes? And that would be
Podria.
right, podria, yes?
Yeah.
Podria. So if you want to say, could you tell me at any time could, meaning if it is from now into any future, yes? As long as it is on or above the now line. If it is below the now line, then it is the past. He couldn't wait. He was not able to wait. Then you cannot use podria. So podria is could if it is not the past, because you have the ria, would be able. So therefore, even if it is right now is not the past. If you want to say, could you tell me, would be
Podria decirme.
right, podría decirme, yes. Could you wait now? Yes, would be, could you wait?
Podría esperar.
Right, podría esperar, yes. So, actually, you have options in Spanish like in English. You can say, instead of, could you wait, you can say, can you wait? Can you, will you wait? Puede esperar. Can you, or will you tell me? Puede decirme. But could you tell me? Podría decirme, yes. But now, what about could in the past? In English, I couldn't find it. I was not able to find it. So poder, the past, for the dat in the past, which is
Pudo.
I could. Aye, not you gave me he could,
Yes,
or you could.
Pude.
Pude, yes. So if you want to say I couldn't see it, would be no.
No pude berlo.
Once more.
No pude berlo.
Berlo, right. No pude berlo. Yes. But pude means the dat in the past, yes. It happened and it's gone, yes. And you said no pude berlo. At that moment I couldn't see it, yes. No pude. But could mostly will express a line in the past, yes. I couldn't, if there's a line, a short line or a long line, would be of poder,
Podia.
podia, right, podia, yes. No podia hacerlo, I couldn't do it. No podia hacerlo. At that moment when you wanted it, I couldn't. No pude, yes. So you see, you make those distinctions in Spanish, yes. But the important thing is to make the distinction in English between could and could. Could past and could not past. Not past meaning now or any time above into the future. Podría. The difference between could past and could not past is in the R or without the R. Podía, could not past. The line in the past, podía, or podría, could, would be able to. Let's go back to I wanted, which is that.
Okay. Lo quise.
Yes. Lo quise, I wanted it. Yes. O quise, I wanted. He wanted.
Lo quiso.
Lo quiso, he wanted it. They wanted it.
Lo quisieron.
Lo quisieron, yes. Now, if you want to say I would like, is
Quisiera.
quisiera, yes. So from quisieron, you change it into hieron to hiera. And you are in the past subjunctive, and what you might want to do. You might. And you can do it with any verb, because all verbs in the past have either aron or hieron, which becomes ara or hiera. After if, actually after if, you use the subjunctive or the command tense. In English too, you will say, if I were, not if I was. Yes. If I were is the subjunctive. And this is what you will do in Spanish. So, if I knew, what would you do here? What is the that I knew?
Supe.
Supe. So they knew.
Supieron.
Right, supieron. And that gives you the subjunctive. So if I knew, si.
Si supiera.
Si supiera is right. Yes. Yes. So if I had the time, I would do it. How would you say that? If I had. Now, after if, you use the subjunctive of have. What is I had? The that is
Tuvieron.
right. Tuvieron is they.
Si tuviera.
Very good. Yes. So if I had the time, would be
Si tuviera el tiempo.
el tiempo. Yes.
El tiempo.
Right. So once more.
Si tuviera
Right.
el tiempo.
Yes. Si tuviera el tiempo. Of course, tuviera could be if I had, if you had, if he had, if she had. Yes. So usually one talks and says, well, why didn't you do it? And you won't say si tuviera el tiempo. It's understood that one means if I had the time. But if there's a doubt, then you throw in and say, si yo tuviera el tiempo, yes? As just as a clarifier. Si yo tuviera el tiempo, I would do it.
Lo haría.
Right. Lo haría is right. Si tuviera el tiempo, lo haría.
Lo haría.
Yes. So, if I were there, would be
Si estaría. No.
if I were. It's a you take it from the dot past.
Ah. Estuviera.
Right. Si estuviera allí, I would tell you.
Diría.
Right. So I would tell you.
Le diría.
Le diría, yes. Here you have those two friends, haría and diría. Yes. I will tell, diré. I will do, haré. Yes. I had, if it is a straight line or a broken line, would be
Tendría.
the moment you give me the R, then you are in will or would. Tendría is fine, for I would have. What is to have?
Tener.
Tener. So I was having,
Just tenía.
yes.
Oh.
Tenía. I was having. I used to have. I had. Straight line, broken line is, again,
Tenía.
tenía, yes. But the dot of had is
Tuve.
tuve. And they had
Tuvieron.
tuvieron. And if I had. Now, after if, you use, here, the past subjunctive,
Si.
which is taken from they, yes.
Yeah.
So if I had would be,
Si tuviera.
right, si tuviera. The same goes with the diving board, have, haber. I have sold it, lo,
Lo ha.
I have,
Lo he
lo he,
vendido.
yes, lo he vendido, yes. And we also used, I would have sold it. Would have is,
Había.
say it again.
I would have. Habría.
Right.
Habría.
The R is important.
Yes, yes.
Habría, because without the R, había would be I had.
I had, yeah.
I had sold it would be lo,
Lo había vendido.
right. Lo había,
Lo había vendido.
Yes. Había is had. Yes. The line. Había. But I would have, way up there, on the diving tower,
Lo habría
lo habría, and you dive.
vendido.
Lo habría vendido. Yes. So again, the diving tower of have, the middle diving board is, the had board is había. Yes. Había, sabían, habíamos, había. Yes. And the high diving board is habría, up there, would have. So once more, I have sold it would be
Lo he
lo he
vendido.
vendido. Yes. So after any form of haber, you have to dive. Yes. Lo he vendido. If you want to say I had sold it, the had board is lo
Había
había
vendido.
vendido. And I would have sold it,
Lo habría vendido.
right, lo habría vendido. With had, the diving had, the tube is, of tener is tube, and estar is estube, and to throw in another one, of haber is ube,
Ube.
H-U-B-E. So I had, if it is a dat situation, is ube, ubo, for they had would be ub.
Hubieron.
Hubieron. Oh, how would you say then, if I had sold it? Because if I had has to be the past subjunctive taken out of the that past.
Okay.
How would you say that? Si.
Si hubiera.
Right. Si hubiera. So if I had sold it, would be
Si
si.
lo hubiera vendido.
Yes, once more.
Si lo hubiera vendido.
Right. Si lo hubiera vendido if I had sold it. How would you say, if I had seen it, I would have bought it. If I had seen it.
Si lo hubiera visto.
Right. Si lo hubiera visto, I would have bought it. I would have bought it.
Habría comprado.
What?
Lo habría comprado.
Right. So give it to me again. If I had seen it.
Si lo hubiera visto.
Right. Si lo hubiera visto, I would have bought it.
Lo habría comprado.
Right. So the hubiera is actually used quite a bit after if, like if I had known it. How would you say that?
Si
If I had known it.
Si lo hubiera saber.
You have to dive.
Si lo hubiera.
What you dive into is.
Yes.
All right. Let's take, if I had bought it, would be.
Si hubiera comprado.
Yes, of course.
Comprado.
You dive into ado or
Ido.
ido, yes.
Si hubiera.
There are only a few exceptions for diving, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Si lo hubiera sabido.
Of course. Si lo hubiera sabido, if I had known it, yes. If I had known it, I would have told you. Again, if I had known it.
Si lo hubiera.
Right. Si lo hubiera.
Hubiera
And now you dive.
sabido.
Right. Si lo hubiera sabido, I would have told you. I would have told you.
Le habría
Told.
dicho.
Dicho, yes. Hecho and dicho, yes.
Yeah.
Those are the two friends.
Yes.
So I would have told you would be.
Le dicho. No. Le habría dicho.
Right. Le habría dicho. Yes. This gives you the past subjunctive. The past that tense, yes, which is aron or yeron, yes, becomes ara and yera. So if I told you would be.
Si le
What is they told me?
I'm muddled about which one I'm in.
All right. What is I said or I told?
Dije.
Right. So they said, they told.
It's the one with the missing I, isn't it?
Well, then just.
Dijeren.
No, it's always, for they, it's either Aaron or Jeron. That's always Ron.
Dijeron.
Dijeron, yes. Instead of dijeron, dijeron, yes.
Yeah.
They did or they made.
Hicieron.
Hicieron, yes, hicieron, yes. So I might do it. if you want to use the subjunctive, the past subjunctive would be is.
Hiciera.
Hiciera, yes, hiciera. Do you remember I knew? I knew goes right into the
Soup.
soup.
Supe.
Yes, supe. So they knew,
Supieron.
supieron. If I knew,
Si supiera.
right, if I knew it, I would tell you.
Si lo supiera.
I would tell you.
Le
I would tell.
diria.
Right, say it again.
Le
Di.
diria.
Le diria, right. Si lo supiera, si yo lo supiera, le diría, yo le diría. Diría, yes. We have to make also a clear distinction in English between wood, meaning plain wood, going into the woods, and would've. Would've is would have. So either we have would've or just would. To go into the woods, just wood, clear wood, is just ria. Yeah, there you have the, in the woods you have that feminine riverbed, yes? Ria, ria, rias, rian, riamos, ria. Yes. That's the plain wood.
Yeah.
But we also have would've on the diving board. Would've, would have,
Abria.
abria, yes. The ria is there, is for the wood, but to aber, abria. So we either have just ria or abria. So I would do it would be lo
Aceria.
Well,
No.
you will be understood if you say lo aceria. Why? Because people will understand the ria for wood, and they would play it back. Yes,
yeah.
They will not correct you, but they will play it back, and then you can correct yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you say lo aceria, they will say
Lo aria.
this is what would happen. Yes, they will say lo aria, but you don't have to shake your head because it may happen. It's all right. It's all right. The same as in English. You may invite somebody to eat, and they will say, I'm not hungry. I eat it already. Yes? You will not say, you shouldn't say, I eat it. You will not give a lesson and correct. No. It's very normal. One will say, oh, you ate already. Yes? That is like a tennis game. Yes? The important thing is to get it over the net, meaning to be understood. Sometimes, as I said, in vocabulary, you can guess, you can think, that may sound good. You try it. Get it over the net, even if it is mispronounced, you will get the feedback. And in the feedback you will say, they understood me, but this is how I should pronounce it, and play it again. The only thing is, sometimes you say something and you get a blank look, so you have another serve. So again, if you want to say, I would buy it, would be?
Compraria.
Yes, I would buy it.
Lo compraria.
Yes, hit the ending, yes. Once
Lo
more.
compraria.
Right. Lo compraria. Yes, I would buy it. So that's plain wood. But I would have bought it. No, it's would have.
Lo habría
And now you have to dive.
comprado.
Right. Lo habría. You can stop. Yes, comprado. Yes. Lo habría comprado. I was buying it would be?
Lo he comprado.
Lo he comprado is correct for I have bought it. But I was buying you have the wing.
The wing.
Yes, wasing.
Lo comprava.
Right. Lo comprava. Yes. He was selling it.
Lo vendia.
Lo vendía. He sold it.
Lo ha vendido.
Correct. He has sold it.
Ah.
He sold it.
Lo vendió.
Past is last.
Lo vendió.
Yes. If you say lo vendió, you will not be understood. Because lo vendió does not exist. Is that clear?
Yes.
Past is last. Lo vendió. They sold it.
Lo vendieron.
Don't give me two pushes.
Lo vendieron.
That is right. Lo vendieron. Yes. You cannot say lo vendieron. Lo vendieron. Aaron and Yeron. E and O, E and Yo. He was selling it. He was selling it.
Lo vendia.
Yes. So lo vendía, yes, he was selling it. He used to sell these things. He used to sell.
Lo vendia.
Right. so whether it's wing was selling, whether it's a straight line or a broken line, the same. But if you want to have the that in the past, he sold it, would be
Lo vendió.
right. Lo vendió. Yes. Or he has sold it.
Lo vendió.
That is, he sold it. That. He has sold it. He has. Now you have to go to the diving board.
Lo ha vendido.
Right. Lo ha vendido. We have sold it.
Lo hemos vendido.
Right. Lo hemos vendido. Yes. They have sold it.
Lo han vendido.
Right. Lo han vendido. They were selling it.
Vendían.
Right. It.
Lo vendían.
Lo vendían. Right. They sold it all the time.
Lo vendían.
Right. But he sold it. That.
Lo ha vendido.
That is, he has sold it.
No, I know what you mean. Vendió.
Right. It.
Lo vendió.
Lo vendió. Yes. They sold it.
Lo vendieron.
Right. Mm-hmm. If I sold it, would be si.
Si vendiera.
Right. There's a subjunctive. Yes. I might sell it, vendiera. If I sold it, si vendiera. But I have sold it. Lo
Lo he vendido.
he vendido. I had sold it. No, it's the headboard.
Yeah. Lo había vendido.
Right. Lo había vendido. No. If you want to say now, if I had sold it, would be
Si hubiera.
if I had sold it.
Si lo hubiera vendido.
Right. Thank you. Si lo hubiera vendido. Yes. There's a subjunctive. Si lo hubiera vendido. Yes. The hubiera vendido, actually, hubiera is si hubiera, if I had, but by itself, hubiera would be I might have. In other words, you could use just the hubiera for I might have. I might have sold it, would be lo
Hubiera vendido.
hubiera vendido. Yes, I might have sold it. Or you could say, instead of I might have sold it, I would have sold it.
lo habría vendido.
Right. If I had been there last night, and if I had seen it, I would have bought it.
Okay.
Now try that one. If I had been there last night.
Si hubiera
Been is,
esse or está
I don't know. All I know is that you're on the diving board, and after that, there's
Oh,
no
right.
place else to
Just
go but
go to the Ado or Ido
but to dive.
to dive.
Yes. Yes. You're already on the diving board, yes? You just gave me, if I had been there, yes?
Yes.
You just started with if I had, which is si.
Si hubiera
Yes. Now you have time to dive. You don't have to jump right away. You have time to think now. Now what do I do? You know that you have to dive. You have to dive into, if I had been, what is the verb?
está.
Of course.
So
Yes.
it's estado.
So, why don't you say it?
It sounds too easy.
Well, let's do everything easy. Yes. So if I had been there would be si.
Si hubiera estado.
Right. Si hubiera estado there,
Allí
last night,
anoche
anoche, I would have seen it.
habría
I would have seen it.
lo habría visto.
Right. Lo habría visto, and I would have bought it.
Y lo habría comprado.
Right. Y lo habría comprado. You could also use, instead of lo habría comprado, I would have bought it, you can also say, I might have bought it.
Lo hubiera comprado.
Right. Yes. So the hubiera is used quite a bit also, for I might have, or would have, very often to use either just habría or hubiera. How would you say, I don't know that he will come.
No sé,
No sé,
no sé
que, that he may come. The go-go's become
daga,
so, que
venga.
venga, right. There's the element of doubt. The same for, I don't think that he may come. No
pienso
pienso
que venga.
Que venga, yes. So it's not, I know that he will come. I know, sé, yes. Or I am sure, estoy seguro que viene. But I'm not sure. No estoy seguro. Now you have the element of doubt. No, at that moment I wasn't sure that he might come. No estuve seguro. Or a line, I wasn't sure. No estaba seguro. If you're in the past, then you have to use the past subjunctive. Not that he may come, but that he might come. So I didn't know would be no sub. What is I didn't know?
No sabía
No sabía that he might come. Que
que
yes, you have to take it from the that past,
yeah,
and it's a go-go, and you know they come with
veniera.
right. No sabía que once more.
No sabía que veniera. Veniera.
No, not wine is not
Oh,
beno.
viniera.
Right. So no sabía que viniera. Yes. This expression is used quite often in Spanish, after which you will use the subjunctive because it expresses the element of hopefully, maybe yes or whatever. And that is ojalá. 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 Ojalá spelled O-J-A-L-A with an accent at the end because the stress is at the end. Ojalá.
Ojalá.
Ojalá. And that expresses a wish, wishful thinking. I hope that, hopefully that, but hopefully that he may come. Ojalá que venga, yes?
Is that from the Moorish inshallah?
Thank you. Yes, it is from the Moorish, because in ojalá you have Allah.
Ojalá.
God willing, Allah willing. Yes. The Moors have been, the Arabs have been there in Spain for almost 800 years.
Yeah.
So, ojalá, ojalá. So, after ojalá, automatically, it's wishful thinking. God willing that, Allah willing. I want to use poder, to be able, can. So we have can, puedo, puede, pueden, and we have could. You remember we have two forms of could in English, would be able or was able. So could, if it is not clearly the past, then you use podría, podría, podrías, podrían, podríamos, but could, if it is clearly the past, I couldn't find it, I was looking for it.
Podía.
Podía, yes. To look for is buscar. To search, buscar. B-U-S-C-A-R. So I was looking for it, but lo
buscaba.
Right, of course. Aber oía. Lo buscaba. Lo buscaba, yes. What is to lose? Perder.
Perder.
Perdition, yes, perder. I lost it, and I was looking for it, but I couldn't find it. I lost it.
Lo perdía.
Lo perdía would be, I used to lose it, or I was losing it, but not I lost it.
Lo perdí.
So, lo perdí, I lost it. I was looking for it. To look for
Yes.
is,
Yes.
yes.
Busco. Busque.
If you say busque, then you will be understood. Do you know what it means, busque?
I looked.
First of all, you have to know that busque is in the present tense, because there's the push, yes?
Yes.
The moment you have that push, the push is into the present tense, which means either present tense or
the imperative.
the imperative, right? Or the subjunctive. Yes?
Yeah.
So busque would mean,
Search.
right, search, imperative, look for it. Look for, because he is looking for it, but we busca. But you don't want to say, look for it, but I was looking for it, and I couldn't find it. I was looking for it. That gives you the wing.
Lo buscaba.
Right. Sometimes you think, I know it. It should come out by itself. Mm-hmm. This is going back to old school habits of memorizing and cramming and thinking, no, it should come out by itself. Yes? And then it's guessing. I want you to take your time, always. Because in taking your time, thinking it out, it seems long to you, but it isn't. It's important. It's important. You know what to do, think it out, and do it. Communication is not a competition in speed. It's very important never to project your own impatience, which you should not have, meaning impatience with yourself. Don't project it onto others to think that one is impatient, they will be impatient.
Yeah.
They will not be. Because if there's anybody who is in any way impatient. You will not want to communicate with them in any language. So, again, I lost it and I was looking for it. Would be, I lost it.
Lo perdé.
You're thinking here of E and O, yes? Mm-hmm. E and O, meaning on what track?
On the R, and it's perder.
Uh-huh.
Lo perdí.
Right. So going into the past, you have to know what kind of verb, yes?
Yes, yes.
Either are or not are, yes? One of the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So E and O are verb. E and yo,
Yo.
not are. So I lost it again.
Lo perdí.
Lo perdí. I was looking for it, and I couldn't find it. To look for is,
Buscar.
I was looking for it.
Buscaba.
Right. I was looking for it.
Lo buscaba.
Lo buscaba. But I couldn't find it.
Pero
I couldn't find it. What is I can?
puedo.
So, I could. Well, you have to know, is it a dot could, or is it a line, or a broken line could?
It's a dot.
A dot, okay. So could is
Pude.
so I couldn't find it,
No pude
and to find is
encontrarlo.
yes. So once more, I couldn't find it.
No pude encontrarlo.
Right, no pude encontrarlo. I couldn't do it would be
No lo podía
do it.
hacerlo. No, I've said it twice, yeah. No podía hacerlo.
Right, no podía hacerlo, yes. So no podía hacerlo, you express here a line. You may have tried and tried, no podía hacerlo, I couldn't do it. Or repeatedly, I tried, no podía. So usually, very often, you will use podía for could, unless you want to use the dot. Yes? At that moment, I couldn't do it. I tried and I couldn't do it. At that moment would be,
No pude hacerlo.
right, no pude hacerlo. How would you say, if you had called me last night, and if you had told me that you were going to arrive today, I would have waited for you, I would have made a reservation, we would have dined, after dinner we would have gone to see it, and I would have bought it for you. Okay. I forgot half of it, but let's try it.
Okay.
So if you had called me last night,
Si me ha llamado.
it is if you have called me.
Right.
If you had is not have. But if you had, it's the headboard of the
Yeah.
diving tower. What does have the diving tower?
Haber.
A bear. Yes. So I have would be, I have bought it would be,
Lo he comprado.
right, lo he comprado. That's the low diving board.
Yeah. Yep.
If you want to say I had bought it would be,
Lo había comprado.
right, lo había comprado. I would have bought it,
Lo habría comprado.
right. Now, if I had, after if, you will use the,
Había.
no, the subjunctive.
Hubiera.
Right. So, if you had called me last night,
Si me hubiera llamado anoche.
right, si me hubiera llamado anoche, and if you had told me,
Y si
You had told me.
me hubiera
Told.
dicho.
Right. Yes. Again, si me hubiera llamado anoche y si
Si
me,
me hubiera dicho.
Yes, y si me hubiera dicho that you were going.
Que
Okay? You were going to arrive today. You were going is
iba
right. Iba. It's one exception. Another exception is from ser, is era. And the third exception is beia, from bear. Yes? Yes, you cannot just say beia, so it's beia. Yes? These are the only exceptions. Otherwise, you have the aber, ihr. But with go, iba. Iba. So if you had told me that you were going to arrive today, would be, once more, if you had told me,
si me hubiera dicho
that
que
you were going to arrive.
iba
To arrive
llegar
today.
hoy,
I would have waited for you. I would have.
habría esperado
Right. Le habría esperado. I would have awaited you. I would have made a reservation.
habría
Made.
hecho una reservación.
We would have had dinner at the restaurant. We would have dined.
Habríamos
Sin.
cenado
Al
al
restaurante.
restaurante.
We would have gone to see it.
Habríamos
Right, habríamos gone.
ido
Right. Habríamos ido.
verlo.
Once more.
Habríamos ido a
Right, ido a
verlo.
verlo. Yes. And it would have been very interesting.
Y habría muy
Habría been.
habría sido
Right. Very interesting.
muy interesante.
Right. So again, how would you say, if I had known it, I would have done it. If I had
Si hubiera
known.
sabido,
Right. So if I had known it,
si lo hubiera sabido,
right, si lo hubiera sabido, I would have done it.
habría hacerlo. No, sorry.
You never ever dive into the infinitive.
No.
Never.
Lo habría hecho.
Right. Lo habría hecho. Instead of lo habría hecho, you could also say, instead of I would have done it, you could also say I might have done it, which would be lo. It's actually the subjunctive, which you just used in.
Hubiera.
Right. So I might have done it would be.
Lo hubiera hecho.
Right. Lo hubiera hecho. So either you can say, I would have done it, lo habría hecho, or you might want to say, lo hubiera hecho, I might have done it. So even if you don't use lo hubiera hecho, it's important for you to understand if somebody says it. Yes. So it's very important to make the distinction again between would and would have. Yes. So would and would have is on one side. But then it's also important to make a distinction between could, past or not past, and could have. Could have, if you want to say, I could have done it. In Spanish, you can say, well, in English too, instead of saying, I couldn't have done it without you, you can also use to be able. So instead of I couldn't have done it, you can say, I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. Yes? Same thing. I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. I couldn't have done it without you. Now, how would you say I wouldn't have been able to do it in Spanish? Would have, I would have, would be?
Habría.
Why don't you do it a little more clearly? Because habría, I don't understand.
Okay.
I don't, you know why? Because at least I don't misunderstand, because habría does not exist.
Okay. Habría.
Habría is clear, yes. Because the would part is the ría. So I could have done it would be, I would have been able to do it. So I would have again.
Habría.
Now comes been able, meaning you have to dive of, what is the verb?
Poder.
Poder would be.
Podido.
Right, yes. Habría podido do it.
Hacerlo.
Hacerlo, yes. We have the situation also with deber. Debería, which is would have to, yes. Debería is used very much in Spanish just for should. Whereas podría is used for could, if it is not the past, when you use podía. So podría, could, yes. Could you come with me? Podría venir conmigo. Podría, yes, could. And should is debería. From deber, debería, yes. But often you can also say debe. You must, you have to, which also implies should. Debe hacerlo. Yes, you should do it. Or you have to do it. You ought to do it. Or debería. You should. So again, could is podría. Should is debería. Could have is would have been able, habría podido. And should have is habría debido. But it's very important to keep the coulds and the shoulds out of the woods. Not to confuse coulds and shoulds and woods. So keep the coulds and the shoulds away from the woods. So again, for wood, whenever you want to go into the woods, you either have the plain wood, yes, which is ría, or would have, which is habría, or might have, hubiera, and you dive. But could is either plain could, podría, or past podía, or could have, habría podido, would have been able, habría podido, of course, with the infinitive, or should, plain should, debería, but should have, habría debido, with any infinitive. You should have told me, habría debido decirme, or me habría debido decir. You could have told me, habría podido decirme. He would have told me, no, you're in the woods. Would have. Me habría dicho. Is that clear? It's important to keep the coulds and the shoulds out of the woods. And again, to make a distinction in the woods between plain wood, ría, or would have. and dive. Abria and you dive. And with coulds and shoulds, could, podria, if it is not podia or pude in the past, pude, pudo. Podria, but could have, again, is
Habría podido.
yes. And so these are handles after which you use infinitives, yes? Podria, infinitive, or habría podido with an infinitive, with a verb. And should, plain should, is
Debería.
but should have,
Habría debido.
debido, yes, yes. So you should have done it would be
Habría debido.
done it.
Oh, hacerlo.
Right, hacerlo.
Yeah.
Yes, because these are handles, yes, after which you use infinitives. Habría debido hacerlo. You could have told me. You could have.
Habría podido decirme.
Right. Habría podido decirme, or me habría podido decir. He would tell me, now you're in the woods.
Me diría.
Right, me diría, he would have told me. Now you have the would have.
Habría.
He would have told me.
Me habría dicho.
Right, me habría dicho. So that gives you the woulds, would have, could have, and should have. Yes, and all tenses. That gives you all the tools of the language.
Amazing.
This gives you the open door to step in and to walk in to the language, which will be an experience of great enjoyment. It also opens the doors into reading, and it will be important for you to read, to start reading, and you will be amazed how well you will be doing. And it would be good to read maybe magazine where you will find interviews. And because in interviews you have the spoken language. And I would recommend, strongly recommend for you to spend 10 minutes a day, even if you're tired, even if you don't seem to get anything. But just the continuity of 10 minutes a day will be very, very useful. Much more useful than spending a few hours once a week. Try to read things that you're interested in. Don't make yourself read something which will bore you. Keep reading and you will get the gist of it. That is good enough. Because the more you read, the more everything will fall into place. As far as vocabulary is concerned, try not to use the dictionary, except if there's a word that is of key importance for the understanding of a whole paragraph, but you will see words sometimes, words that reappear 4, 5 times, 6 times. That will be an assurance for you that those are words that are in common usage. After 5, 6 times, you will have a good idea what it means. But then it will motivate you also to look it up in the dictionary, because you will have the assurance that it is a word in common usage, because otherwise in reading, if you start looking up words, you may have words that will never be used again, or very rarely, and will not necessarily be in common usage. You know in English what not to look up, but you don't know in another language. So the only assurance that you will have words that are in common usage, and important to look up and to know are words which you will see 5, 6, or 7 times. Again, it has been a pleasure, a great pleasure for me to be with all of you, and I hope that we will continue again.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Muchas
Michel.
gracias.
End of recording 4.